Alright, welcome aboard guys. So we finally did it. We bought a boat. Yeah, welcome to Sailing Skeleton. So we've been down sitting in Brisbane for a week or so, getting the boat ready, giving it a good clean out. I really was disgusted actually, to be honest, with the broker I bought the boat off. The place was a pigsty. In all the years I sold boats, I never once let a boat leave the yard in the state this one was. So yeah, I was pretty disgusted. But we've cleaned her up, we've made her our own. She's all nice now, and yeah, she's our home. So we've done a bit of shopping. We've had to obviously start from scratch, so we bought all new bedding and sheets, pillows, all of that, cutlery, crockery. We've had to, you know, stock the cupboards up with a heap of food. Definitely needed to get some rum and some beer on board. So the plan is we're going to sail her back up to Airlie Beach, spend a bit of time up there with Dad and Annette, get used to the boat, cruise around the islands, all that sort of stuff, before we start traveling around. Dad and Annette are coming down. They should be here in the next day or so. They're going to help us sail it back up, which is great. At this stage, not the most experienced sailor in the world. We did a 10-day bareboat charter a year or so ago. That was brilliant. Fell in love with it, really enjoyed it. So then we did a couple of weeks with Dad over the last few weeks, sailing around while we've been looking at boats, and until we found this one. So I got a few weeks under my belt, but I've never sailed a cat. So the fact that they're coming down to give us a hand to sail it back is awesome, and yeah, couldn't thank you guys more for the coming down to help us. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll go on an adventure, eh?
Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away.
Cause now I'm knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair.
Alright, so our first sail was over to the Tangalooma Wrecks on the western side of Moreton Island. First hour or so was brilliant. It was actually really nice, but the wind changed, come straight onto our nose, and things got pretty rough. So after an hour or so we had to put the motors on. We tried sailing, tacking backwards and forwards to get a good angle, but it was just horrible and we're going nowhere. So we ended up getting a little bit later than we planned, getting over to the Tangalooma Wrecks, so we missed out on a swim. But what a beautiful place, guys. It's like something out of a brochure. Honestly, as we pulled in there behind the wrecks and dropped the anchor, all the stress of the day, how rough it was and everything, it just faded away. It's what we're wanting to do out here, go and explore places as beautiful as this. The water was crystal clear. You could see the fish and the coral around the wrecks. It was just amazing. So we settled in there for the night, had a nice feed and a couple of beers. Didn't take a lot of photos, honestly, because we were just sitting there in awe of just our surroundings and what we'd accomplished for the day. It was just, yeah, it was amazing. So we had a few drinks, had a nice feed, settled in for the night and have a good rest and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's plan is to head from Tangalooma up to Mooloolaba. So we'll see how we go. Morning guys, it's just gone 7 o'clock. Left Moreton Island maybe an hour and a half ago. Heading north towards Mooloolaba today. Beautiful day on the water. Winds are about 18 knots and we're just cruising along comfortably. So here it is. Alright, so as we're heading north towards Mooloolaba, one thing we need to talk about is whales. There are plenty out there, guys, so many. We were seeing them everywhere. There's so many mums playing with their calves on the surface, teaching them how to, you know, breach and flap their flukes and all of that. It's just really awesome to see. It's amazing. Especially considering back in the 1960s, they estimated the population to be as low as 150 individual animals. So that it really was decimated. The last count they did in 2023, they estimated the population to be now around 40,000, which is absolutely amazing in such a short period of time. So it's really great to see. The one hazard is, however, you do have to be very careful. We had them all around us, breaching next to us, you know, there are just so many whales around. You do have to really keep a good eye out. We did hear of a few boats that did unfortunately bump into a couple of whales, causing a fair bit of damage to the boat and the crew, and I'm sure the whale didn't enjoy it either. So we were keeping a really good watch. If we noticed them in the distance, we would change our course a little bit to try and stay out of our way, but there is no guarantee because, you know, once they dive down, you're not really sure where they're going to come back up. Yeah, so on the east coast, whales generally migrate north from around April, May, and then they come back south September, November, December, that sort of time. It's only early September at the moment, and yeah, we are just surprised by the amount of whales out here. So once again, if you're out here, guys, just be a little bit careful and make sure you're keeping a good watch. We also come past plenty of these big girls as well, and they are big. They will not move, they have right away, they're not very maneuverable obviously, so you just have to make sure you're staying out of their road. But yeah, it's amazing when you do get up close how massive they are. If you have a look at those containers on there, guys, yeah, old skeleton here, she'd pretty much fit inside one of them if you took the mast off. So yeah, they're a lot bigger than us, and we're just going to give them a wide berth. We got into Mooloolaba at a reasonable time, which was great. So I contacted my auntie Pat, who lives up there on the Sunshine Coast. Haven't seen her for years, since I moved to WA. So yeah, she's going to come down and have a bit of feed with us and catch up, which is great. Yeah, it's really nice catching up with people when you haven't seen them for years. And yeah, she's never met Kobe, so it's going to be great for her to actually put a face to the name and meet the young bloke as well. So we just left Mooloolaba, heading north to Double Island Point. Not a bad little day, a little bit cloudy out here today. Just running the motors for a little bit to charge the batteries. Should be a bit of a long trip, probably get up to Double Island Point about 3 o'clock this evening, hopefully, and yeah, see how the day travels. We left Mooloolaba the next morning, cruised along. Things started to get pretty rough from there. The weather was turning. It was a pretty horrible day, to be honest. We didn't do too bad on the time. It was just rough and uncomfortable. So we were aiming for Double Island Point, which was a 40-mile sail thereabouts. But as we come around the corner to Double Island Point, it was atrocious. There is a lagoon at Double Island. Some of you guys who sail might know. It's quite often used for people who are cruising up the east coast or down the east coast as an overnight anchorage. generally nice and calm, but it was disgusting. It was like a washing machine. You couldn't even actually tell where the entrance to the lagoon was. So we erred on the better side of caution, decided we wouldn't risk going in there, and we continued on up to the very notorious Wide Bay Bar. It was going to be a bit of a lumpy crossing, but as luck would have it, we had the tide working with us. So we arrived there at the end of the incoming tide, so we had nice depth under our keel, and being the run-in tide, it was as smooth as it was going to be in these conditions. So we went through, made it through the bar okay, a little bit hairy in a few spots with breakers breaking each side all around us, but Skeleton performed well. I was very impressed. It's quite funny because I've done a lot of bar crossings, but generally I've got horsepower. You know, like my last boat had 140 horsepower, and it weighed, you know, a third of what this boat weighs. This boat's got two 9.9 horsepower engines, so we do have twins, but you know, at 10 horsepower each, there's not a lot of go there. But different shape hull, I guess. So we motored along quite nice through there, and at any stage it wasn't a problem. We weren't overly scared, and like I say, the boat performed really well. Once we got in through the bar, it was beautiful. It's so nice and calm in there, and the sunsets are absolutely amazing. Check this out. Jump onto our Facebook page and our Instagram page, Sailing Skeleton. Give us a like, give us a follow. Also, for anyone who's interested, you might want to read our blog. You can jump onto sailingskeleton.com.au. If you sign up, we've got a couple of plans there. So there's a free mate plan, so you get access to our blog and you can read that for nothing. There are also a couple of paid plans for those who'd like to contribute. The cheapest one is $12 a year, so that's only $1 a month, guys. It's nothing, but that helps us with a bit of internet coverage and things like that. And if you really want to contribute, you can become a contributor for $120 a year. It's still only $12 a month, so it's not a big amount of money out of your pocket. You know, a couple of cups of coffee per month, but it really does go a long way to help us. Our goal is to try and get Starlink. Obviously, we're homeschooling Kobe while we're traveling, so we do have a bit of issues with internet from time to time. So if we can get a little bit of funds happening through this, the main goal is to upgrade to Starlink so we can have a bit more internet coverage to do the schoolwork, and obviously to post some videos out there for you guys. So yeah, jump on. There is some merch on the website for anyone who's interested. You want to join the crew, become part of the family. Yeah, so jump on, have a look at that. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.